Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel, where the games are coming thick and fast in the Premier League as Brighton take on Liverpool at the weekend. And I am joined by Maz from Seagulls Socials. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. Very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I am a lot better after last night. Let's put it that way, because I don't think anyone expected Liverpool to lose last night, But no, going into this game, I'm really looking forward to it. And you guys will be pretty happy after the weekend. You beat Aston Villa by 2-1. That came as a bit of a shock. I don't think anyone expected you to go over to Villa Park and win. How would you sum up your season as a whole?
Definitely, I agree. I think the Aston Villa result, I would have been happy with a draw in that game, to be honest with you. To get a result there in the way that we did was very, very positive, and just taking our chances was key. And then referring to your other point in terms of our season, how it's gone, it's been all right. It could obviously be much better. We just haven't been clinical enough in front of goal, and we haven't really taken our chances. So yeah, I mean, it's not disastrous by any stretch, but I feel like certain games, for example, West Brom, the West Brom game, for example, we could have got 3 points there, and that would have added to our, an extra 2 points to our total. So yeah, it's frustrating, but it's going okay.
Yeah, I mean, what were your expectations at the start of the season? Was it to stay up, or was it to sort of get mid-table?
No. So definitely, I felt like with the squad that we've got now, for example, Ben White coming back from loan from Leeds, building the squad that we've got. We've got some great players if you look throughout the squad. So I was actually very hopeful. I was thinking, mid-table. I'm not going to say that I was looking towards Europe or anything like that. But no, mid-table, sort of 15th towards 10th, maybe, sort of in that sort of region. But yeah, unfortunately, so far it's not gone to plan as much as we'd like it to. But there's still a long way to go, and every performance we've had has been positive. It's not like there's been a game where I thought, bloody hell, like we're going down, or we're not playing. We're in big trouble here. There hasn't really been that yet, we're slowly getting better and better, and our squad as a whole is gelling. So it's all positive so far, really.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I've written down in my notes, and I know you'll feel really frustrated at this, should be higher. Is that something that you guys share in you think you should be higher in the league?
Yeah, so that's a funny one, because I literally hear it all the time from other podcasts, from people in my WhatsApp groups that aren't Brighton fans. Like, they're all like, "Oh, you should be higher, XG table and all that sort of stuff," referring on to that. But for me, I'm XG is great and all these stats are great. 60% possession, 70% possession, and all that sort of stuff. But if you're not winning games, then what's you're not getting the 3 points, and ultimately in football, it's a results game. So we've, don't get me wrong, we played some good football. We're easy on the eye. We've dominated in some games, in terms of possession, etc. But we've gone away with a point or none. And so at the end of the day, it's great to play and look good, but if you're not getting the 3 points, then what's the point? So I agree. Maybe statistically, XG and all that, we should be higher. But we're not at the end of the day. So, we've just got to work on making sure we see out games, kill games, and actually score and take our chances.
Yeah. Now, as I'm recording this, the government have just announced that Brighton and Liverpool are in Tier 2. So that means that Brighton will be able to have 2,000 fans back in. What do you make of fans possibly coming back in on the 2nd of December?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just to say, of course, it's a great thing. Everyone's been missing it. It's great for people's mental health. It's great for the economy. It's great for the clubs. There's a lot of positives, of course. But at the same time, I just feel like it might be a little bit too short of a span in terms of getting people into the stadium. So, like, trying to get everything organised for the 2nd of December is a bit Sounds a bit mental. It's a bit too soon, possibly. But of course, yeah, it's only upsides for fans. They want to go back and watch their teams play rather than on illegal streams or on Sky. So yeah, it's definitely a great thing. But I just feel like it might be a bit too soon in terms of getting people in. And I also read that I think Brighton and Southampton are the only two clubs that can have over up to 4,000 fans. I could be wrong, but I read that. Yeah, I think Southampton and Brighton are the two teams that are allowed 4,000, and then the rest are up to 2,000. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see why that is. But yeah.
Let's talk about your manager, Graham Potter, because I think it has to be said, it came as a shock to me that you got rid of Chris Hughton. And I have to say, since Graham Potter's come in, he's done really, really well. How have you felt with him as manager?
Yeah, I remember when Chris Hughton left, and the media, they're like, "Oh, disgusting how you treated Chris Hughton, blah blah blah. Like, how dare you get rid of him? How could you? He's been such a great servant." And yeah, at the time, I agree with that. He's great. Mm-hmm. He done so much for the club. He got us promoted, etc., and kept us up. So I can't argue with that. But it was time for change. Like, it was, he was quite at times quite defensive minded and quite just happy to go out and set up shop and not really get that expansive sort of progressive football, which every football fan wants, right? Yeah. All the calls in the media and stuff like, disgraceful and all that stuff, I thought was a bit over the top and a bit harsh on us. It's been justified, to be honest. As you see from the style of play, and Graham Potter's come in and really sort of changed the way we play, and it's more sort of I doubt but like, for example, when we had Gus Poyet as manager, he's very sort of attacking, and even though it was in the Championship and sort of League One, he's very attack minded, all about getting the ball forward, being attractive on the eye, and that's much more what Graham Potter does as well. Getting us playing well and making us look good, as well as sort of not being too negative. But of course, we're a small club. Let's be real. We're still sort of growing in that sense. And we can't go up against the likes of yourselves. The Liverpools and the Chelseas and the Man Cities. We can't just go all out against you guys, because we'll just get torn apart. So sometimes, we do have to come into the game maybe with 5 at the back and sit deep and just, hit you on the counter, which is just the way it is, unfortunately. I would love to have your team and your manager, etc., but we don't. So yeah, we've got to make do with what we got. But no, it's definitely he's a great manager, and I think he's still got a lot more to give, and he's still learning every day, which is positive to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's done a fantastic job, and home and away wins against Arsenal last season was absolutely magnificent. You guys pick up really good results along the way. Like those 2 games against Arsenal last season, you were absolutely magnificent. And Neil Maupay, I mean, let's talk about him, because everybody says he is a bit of shithousery about him. What do you make of Maupay?
Yeah, I love him. That's what I love about him. He's a proper shithouse, and he just does rile people up. But then at the same time, I don't want him to get too much of a shithouse, because then officials will then start to maybe target him. Teams might start to put crunching tackles into him. So you want to be sort of careful with it. You don't want to get too up there, like like your Diego Costas and your Sergio Ramoses and your Pepes, where they're some clubs will go out and try and hurt them. So he's got to be a bit careful. But I do like that edge to him. I think that's what makes him him. That's what makes him a good player. That's what you want, someone to have a bit of character. I'm a big believer in it's great to see characters on the pitch and having that sort of edge to them, and hopefully he can channel that sort of maybe that aggressiveness / shithousery in a positive manner. But no, he's a great player. He struggled a little bit this season with regards to finishing and taking his chances. He's not been as sort of prolific, but he scored I think it was 10 goals or 10 to 12 goals last season, which is really good return for your first season in the Premier League. And I think he's got a couple this year as well. So it's all very positive, but it'll be interesting to see how he develops, and just having, I think, Danny Welbeck, the introduction of him alongside him is going to be really positive and hopefully help him as well.
And I suppose it's not Brighton Liverpool without speaking about one of our probably best players over the past 5 years, Adam Lallana. What have you guys made of him so far?
Oh, he's been class. He's been class. He's been really good. He's just a very classy, individual. He's a very intelligent player. He just uses class, doesn't he? And he's a pleasure to watch. Only frustration, of course, as I'm sure with you guys, is just his injury record. His injuries it's just such a killer. Like against Aston Villa, he's having such a good first half, and then all of a sudden he's been dragged at half time for an injury, and it was the same 2 games before that. And then I think he's been injured like 3 times already for us. Which is just so frustrating because he's such a good player, and we know we're better for him when he's in the team. But it's just keeping him fit, and he'll be our sort of star player for sure.
Yeah, and another big miss for you guys this weekend is Tariq Lamptey. I have to say, who's been absolutely sensational this season.
Yeah, he's been immense. I'd put Tariq Lamptey and Lallana as sort of our 2 best players, really. It's a great shame with Tariq because obviously I think it was very harsh sending off. I don't know if you watched the Villa game. Second yellow on Grealish, which was basically Grealish. I don't know if you know or if you saw, but he basically, I think he called him like a pussy boy or something, and like really got into his head. And then he made, and literally about 10 seconds later, he made the challenge that he made. So Grealish done very well there to get into his head and get him sent off. But we digress. It is very, very frustrating. But I feel like in a weird way, because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I don't see us getting a result at all. So the fact that even if he was there, I don't think it would really make a big difference, to be honest with you. And the backup we've got is Joel Veltman, who will most probably deputise in the right back right wing back position, and he's very much more sort of defence minded. So that could actually work in our favour, to be honest with you, when you've got the likes of Mane, Salah, and Firmino running at you. I think I'd be much more comfortable. But of course, Lamptey's pace will be a big miss against, let's say, Mane or Salah. That'll be a big miss. But it is what it is. It's only 1 game ban, so it could be worse.
Yeah, definitely. What have you made of Liverpool this season so far?
Well, I mean, there's not much to say, is there, with Liverpool? Like, you're a great team going forward. Of course, without sort of mentioning it, but of course, the injuries have been a big part of your guys' season, which has been very frustrating for you guys, I can imagine. But I mean, considering you've had so many injuries, you're still performing and you're still getting results. I think you're same level on points with the league leaders.
Level on points was Tottenham. Yeah.
So, the fact that you've done that with such a thin squad, I think you're missing, 11 players, something like that?
Yes, it's mental. It's like a shopping list now. It's like a shopping list of injuries that we've got.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the lineup against Atalanta last night, and you had, was it Williams and is it Williams and Williams, I want to say? Williams and Williams at the back. And then, obviously, in the midfield, you had Curtis Jones. And it's just like looking through your team. It's a very sort of... it's a shell of your season, of your team last season, or even at the beginning of this season. And those players, of course, they're still not as experienced. They're not as good, to be honest with you, as your usual players. So I mean, you're still getting the results. Who's it? You beat Leicester. Yeah, I was saying this to my mates the other day. I was like, they've beaten Leicester 3-0, who are one of the best teams in the league. On a squad so thin. So, I mean, it just shows your quality and your manager and stuff like that. So, of course, I'm always impressed with Liverpool, and I'm quite scared to play you guys, to be honest.
I mean, last season it was 3-1. Although, to be fair, it was 2-1 at Anfield. Alisson got sent off, and there was a wee period in that game where Adrian comes on, and we always get jitters when he ever comes on anyway. So, But no, I think it's going to be a really, really good game. I mean, going into this game, how are you feeling going into it?
So like I mentioned, I think it's one of those sort of the games that they call a sort of like there's no sort of pressure on us at all. So if we go in there, get battered 4-0, people will be like, well, it's Liverpool. That was expected. There's no pressure on us whatsoever. And I sort of enjoy that in a weird way because we're not expected to come to play against you guys and get a result. So for us, it's a win-win, really. If we get a draw or even somehow get a win, that's like, amazing for us. So and of course that is a bit of a sort of small club mentality, which is, unfortunately the way it is. But I would love to go into the game and say, look, oh yeah, we can definitely sort of match you toe to toe. But the reality is we can't. So to even get a draw would be a fantastic result. And I suppose in a weird way, this is probably the best time to try and get that result is, when you guys are thin on ground with players. So you never know. It could, we could maybe pull off a shock and get a draw. But I mean, really, let's be real. You should be disposing us quite easily, with the squad that you've got and the manager you've got, etc., and the way you play. So, no, but it'll be interesting to see because, we're both very... I suppose we both like having the ball. We both like passing the ball. It'll be interesting because we've got similar styles. Of course, yours is much more expansive and attacking in comparison. And of course, you've got much better quality players. But I feel like in terms of the ideology and what we want to do as teams is quite similar. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely. So give me your starting 11 prediction for Brighton at the weekend.
Right, so we're probably going to have Matty Ryan in goal, and then three centre halves. We would have Webster, White, and Lewis Dunk, and then at right back, obviously Tariq Lamptey out. We probably have Veltman, and then left back Solly March, who's been really really good for us, and then probably a midfield depending on Lallana's fitness. It all depends on that, but I can see Danny Welbeck and Mopai being up front, and then we'll probably have a 3-man midfield of Basuma, Lallana, and then really the third spot could be up for grabs, to be honest, in that midfield. We've got some great midfielders in there at the moment, sort of all vying for for a place. So Pascal Gross will probably most likely start, but we've got the likes of Alzate and Malumbi as well, young players that sort of can be pushing for that starting berth. But yeah, that's how I see us setting up: 3 at the back, 3 centre halves, 2 wing backs, 3 in the midfield, 2 up front.
Excellent. I did see that Davy Proper might be back as well, who's a really, really key player for you guys.
Yeah. So, he probably would start alongside Lallana and Basuma in that midfield. But then, like I said, the competition's actually been really, really high this season for that third sort of spot because Basuma and Lallana are sort of, your first sort of penciled in names. But then that third slot is quite up for grabs, to be honest with you. You've got Pascal Gross, you've got Proper, you've got Malumbi, you've got Alzate, great for us anyway, great players. And so, they're all vying for that third spot. So it'd be interesting to see with Proper coming back, how he eases him. Because I think it was quite a sort of semi-serious injury. So I don't think Potter wants to rush him back. I think Potter's he's one of those managers that doesn't like rushing players back too soon, which is good. I'd rather him sort of stay fit than just come back and get injured. It'll be interesting to see who gets that third and final spot.
Absolutely. So the Liverpool lineup, guys, get your lineups in the comment section down below. That'd be very, very good. My lineup's going to be Alisson Becker, and then I'm going to go James Milner. I thought he was absolutely outstanding the other night against Leicester City, so I think he'll play again. Matip and Fabinho, and then Robertson. I think that's a fine. And then Wijnaldum, midfield. And then I'm actually going to say Thiago will come back into the starting lineup. I'm going to say Thiago will come back in.
He's a sensational player. Like I think I'd probably say he's probably my favourite centre midfielder in the world. At the moment and on his day, like he was just incredible for Bayern last season. Every time I watched him play, I was just like, wow! Like he just like I talk about Lallana, he just oozes class in the way he he's so effortless with what he does. It's like he doesn't even try. It's like it just comes to him so naturally, and that's what it's just like the beautiful. Sort of without sounding cliche, watching the beautiful game is sort of him really. He just makes it all so effortless and thinking. I would love to see him play against us, to be honest with you, just because of his quality.
Yeah. So Wijnaldum, Thiago midfield. Then I'm actually going to go for the 4-2-3-1. So I think it's going to be Salah right, which is he loves scoring against you guys. I hate to say I hate to say that for your benefit. Sadio Mane, and then I'm going to go Diogo Jota. And then Roberto Firmino.
I mean, yeah. Let's pray that isn't the lineup, because otherwise we're in for a long day. It's the early kickoff though, so I can get my misery out the way sort of early doors. So if we do get spanked from like a Diogo Jota hat trick, it'll be very interesting. But just quickly, with regards to Diogo Jota, have you been surprised about how well he's actually done for you guys?
I have been, to be honest. I know he had a very good season with Wolves. I know he came up in the Championship as well. But he's been absolutely outstanding since he's came in. I think it's something like 8 goals in 11 games or something so far. He's the first Liverpool player to score in 4 consecutive home games as well. It's absolutely mental. But yeah, he's just a breath of fresh air right now. He's something different as well, and he's just came in. And he's just, scoring goal after goal. So, if you can continue that, he's going to have a very good season. But yeah, I think for the money that we bought him for, I think we kind of, pulled the pants down really on Wolves for, 45 million.
Funny you should say that, actually. I saw a tweet the other day of a Wolves fan. So this was when he first signed for you guys. A Wolves fan had written, 45 million or whatever, we've absolutely had their pants down. And then after I think he scored his goal, was it against Leicester? Someone retweeted it or found it again, just went, what were you saying, sorry? So yeah, it's funny because the Wolves fans thought they'd absolutely had your pants down when...
Yeah.
bitterness / worried about basically saying that Jota wasn't good enough for them, just out of sadness. But no, he's been incredible for you guys, and it's funny how Wolves fans are probably missing him right now a lot.
Yeah, right. I've got to ask you this: what's your prediction for the game?
It's definitely going to be a 3-0 Brighton win, I think. I can't really see anything else, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. I'm probably going to go... Okay, I'm going to be nice to us. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
Okay.
And 2-0 Liverpool. And let's go with... I'm going to give you some scorers. We'll give you Jota and Salah, I think.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, Jota and Salah on the score sheet.
I'm going to go for a repeat scoreline of last season. I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1. I think you'll get a goal. And I think the goals... Is it Trossard? Trossard has scored last season?
Yes, but he's injured at the moment. So he's very much down.
Right.
Yeah. Which is a big loss to us, to be honest with you.
He's been magnificent since he's came in as well. All right, okay. I'll go for a Danny Welbeck goal. Why not? I'll go Danny Welbeck. Then I'll go Jota, Mane, and Salah. I'll go for those. I'll go for those 3 to score as well. In fact, I do know that since you have started this Seagulls Social, was the Aston Villa result the first win?
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah. So our first win since we started the podcast was against Aston Villa. So we obviously we've beaten Newcastle this season. So it was only our second win against Villa. But we hadn't started the podcast then. So yeah, it was nice to have an actual positive podcast for once, because it was just us moaning for about 7 episodes of how bad we were. So it was a nice change for the Villa podcast.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, guys, get your score prediction, get your starting 11s in the comment section down below. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Maz, it's been an absolute pleasure to get to meet you and finally do a match preview with you as well. Where can we find you in the socials? So on Twitter, Instagram, it's Seagulls Social. So if you just search that, you should be able to find us on there. And obviously podcast all our sort of usual Apple, Spotify, etc. So if you guys want to tune in, more than welcome. Absolutely, and go and check out Seagulls Social. I did watch your Villa review, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, guys, please go and follow Seagulls Social. I will leave their socials in the description down below. But yeah, we will see what happens at the weekend. It's always a very good game between Liverpool and Brighton, and I'm pretty sure Saturday lunchtime will be even better as well. But yeah, guys, until then, that is all going to be all from me. thank you very much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button as well. Go and follow Seagulls Socials as well. And we'll see what happens on Saturday. But yeah, so until then, we'll see you later. Take care.
See you later.
Bye-bye for now.
Cheers. Bye.